Shortly after we got married, my husband died in a car crash. I was in the accident too, and lost an eye. Overwhelmed with grief, I decided to move back to my home village. But I'd barely arrived when I ran into the village psychic. When I was a kid, she was always muttering strange things. I remember a lot of the villagers would go out of their way to avoid her. But my parents were different, they often brought her food. Because of them, she was always pretty nice to me. I was about to say hello, but the psychic just stared at my bracelet. "You foolish child," she said. "You've been set up. She's using that thing to siphon your luck. From now on, you'll only have worse and worse luck, and the more miserable you are, the happier she'll be." Hearing the psychic's words felt like being struck by lightning. My best friend, Zoe, had given me the bracelet. I didn't really like wearing it, but she insisted it was a special charm she'd gone to great lengths to get for me. She said it would keep me safe and I had to wear it. She even said that wearing the bracelet would make my married life smoother. I remember laughing and saying that was impossible. But she was so persistent, I finally gave in and put it on. Ever since I put on that bracelet, though, nothing has gone right. Especially the day after our wedding, when my husband and I were in that horrific car crash. He died at the scene, and I lost an eye. I'm still waiting for a cornea transplant. I was completely devastated by his death. Zoe, on the other hand, has had her life get better and better since my wedding. Not only did she start dating some rich kid, but she also landed an amazing job. I heard even her parents moved into a huge new house and are living incredibly well now. Some of our old classmates are even sucking up to her. Just the day before I came back to the village, she came to see me just to brag about how great her life was. Everything she said matched the psychic's words exactly. Hearing the psychic, I ripped the bracelet off my wrist as fast as I could, ready to throw it away. But the psychic stopped me. She looked at me and said, "Child, even if you throw it away, it won't do any good. That thing has marked you. It will keep draining your luck even if you get rid of it. It won't stop until the day you die." Hearing her words, my face went pale with panic. "Then what do I do?" I asked desperately. "Don't you worry. I'll help you." Looking at me, the psychic gave me a small smile and said aloud, "You're one of our own. We can't let an outsider take advantage of one of our girls. Find a way to get one of her hairs and bring it to me. I'll help you break this curse." Hearing her, I nodded eagerly. "Okay, I will. Don't you worry, child. I'll help you get revenge for what she's done. Your luck will come back to you." She held my hand, her eyes full of sympathy. She told me to go home and get a good night's rest, and then go find Zoe tomorrow. I readily agreed. The psychic watched me go, softly murmuring a few last-minute instructions before she left. Back home, I lay on my bed completely exhausted. Ever since my husband died, I'd been dealing with his funeral arrangements. To be honest, I was running on empty. I thought it was just a tragic accident, but I never imagined it was a carefully planned plot by my best friend to steal my luck. From the time we were kids, I always had great grades and even better luck. Right after college, I got together with my husband. And right after graduation, I got a job offer from a top tech company. I still remember the day my husband proposed to me. I never thought that just a short time later, he would be dead because of her. Thinking about it, my hatred for Zoe grew deeper. In college, she was my roommate. Back then, if it weren't for me and my husband, she wouldn't have even been able to pay her tuition. My husband and I had to pinch pennies to help Zoe pay her tuition. She wouldn't have been able to finish college without us. She grabbed my hand so many times, telling me how grateful she was. But I never thought that not only was she not grateful, she would steal my luck and get my husband killed. At that moment, my hatred for Zoe reached its peak. At the same time, I was kicking myself for not seeing her true colors sooner. If I had, none of this would have happened. Thinking of my husband, tears streamed down my face again. He once told me that Zoe was no good. He even said she tried to hit on him. But at the time, I saw Zoe as my best friend. I just thought my husband was overthinking things. Now that I think about it, maybe Zoe hated us both because she couldn't have him. I took a deep breath to push down the hatred boiling inside me. Then I called Zoe. "Zoe, are you free? I wanted to see you," I said softly into the phone. "Chloe, what's up?" On the other end, Zoe said, "Chloe, you know I just got that job at the big tech firm. I'm swamped at the office right now. I can't really get away." Hearing the smugness in her voice, my hatred burned even hotter. Zoe, I think the bracelet you gave me is broken. I was just wondering if it can be fixed. If not, I'll just buy a new one. I said it in a soft, quiet voice. When I said that, I could clearly hear the panic in Zoe's voice on the other end. Chloe, what happened? I thought we were best friends. How could you break the gift I gave you? Chloe, I'll come see you tomorrow. Don't worry, I can fix the bracelet, Zoe said urgently. And hearing the panic in her voice, I knew for sure that Zoe had tampered with the bracelet. Right then, my expression turned ice cold. I never thought the person I had helped so many times would be the one to harm me. I left my house and hurried to the small shrine in the village where the psychic lived. She saw me coming, looked at me with her cloudy eyes, and smiled. Child, come sit. Don't you worry, child. As long as I'm here, I won't let anyone hurt you. The psychic looked at me kindly. If it weren't for your family back then, I wouldn't even be alive today. The people of this village have been good to me, so I have to protect them. She said to me softly, from now on, you need to be more careful about who's a good person and who's a bad one. Hearing this, I nodded quickly. I know. She's coming tomorrow. I told her the bracelet was broken. Good. I know what to do. Don't worry, I'll help you, the psychic said with a smile. She told me to relax and get a good night's sleep, and she even walked me to the door. After I got home, maybe because the psychic's words had an effect, I fell asleep quickly. It was the most peaceful sleep I'd had in a long time. When I woke up, it was already the next day. And right on cue, Zoe's call came in. Chloe, I'm already in your village. I'll be at your house in a minute. Zoe said urgently, it's okay if your bracelet is broken. I brought you another one. Just give me the old one back. Hearing her, I gave a cold smile and just nodded. Okay, come on over. After I said that, I just waited at home. Soon, there was a knock on the door, and I saw Zoe walk in. When she came in, she looked me over carefully. Then her eyes darted to my wrist. Chloe, where's the bracelet? She asked urgently. I pointed to my bedside table, where the bracelet lay. Yesterday, when I went to see the psychic, she had made a small crack in it. She told me the bracelet couldn't be completely broken, or my life would be in danger. But a small crack was fine. When Zoe saw the bracelet, she let out a sigh of relief. Then she rushed over to it and said, Chloe, you're so careless. But it's okay, I brought another one today. Just give this one to me. From now on, wear this one. As she spoke, she pulled an identical bracelet out of her bag and, without asking, tried to put it on my wrist. But I waved my hand away. Zoe, this one is just a little broken. It's fine. I can still wear it. I can't just take another gift from you. You should take it back. As I spoke, I pushed Zoe's hand away. She froze for a moment, then said urgently, you're my best friend. What's wrong with me giving you a little gift? Besides, Chloe, you know I'm doing really well right now. I'm about to get a promotion and a raise. A little gift like this is nothing to me. As she talked, she grabbed my hand, trying to force the new bracelet on me. I quickly waved my hands, pretending to refuse. While we were struggling, I pretended to accidentally pull out a lock of Zoe's hair. The pain made Zoe yelp. Zoe, I'm so sorry, it was an accident. I quickly pocketed the hair while looking at Zoe and trying to comfort her. Chloe, how could you be so clumsy? Zoe, you know I can't see out of one eye. I really didn't mean to grab your hair just now, I said, pretending to be hurt. When she heard me say that, a flicker of smugness crossed her face, but she quickly hid it. But I still saw it. Fine, Chloe. Just wear the bracelet. I have to get back to the office, I'm leaving. She then forced the bracelet onto my wrist and hurried away. I watched Zoe leave, then pulled the lock of hair from my pocket. My eyes filled with hatred. I rushed to the psychic with the hair. She took it, and also asked for the new bracelet Zoe had brought me. Zoe had left in such a hurry that she'd even forgotten to take the old, cracked bracelet. Ma'am, you said that even if I smashed the bracelet it wouldn't work, so why is Zoe in such a panic? I asked, curious. If you smash the bracelet, you die. She can't steal luck from a dead person. She needs you alive so she can keep draining your luck, the psychic said softly. She left in too much of a hurry and left the old bracelet behind. Don't worry, I can make her give back all the luck she stole from you. The psychic then burned Zoe's hair to ash. At the same time, she took both bracelets Zoe had given me and put them in a basin. I watched as the psychic burned both bracelets together, mixing them with Zoe's ashes. Soon the bracelets had burned down to charcoal. There, child. Your luck will return to you very soon, the psychic said, looking at me. Then, she gathered the ashes and looked at me. Now, because you destroyed the bracelets, the curse will backfire on her. I looked at the psychic and said, Thank you, ma'am. Child, remember this from now on. Don't be so quick to trust people. You were meant to have a wonderful life with great luck. It was all ruined by her. The psychic told me I was supposed to have a lifetime of happiness, but because of what Zoe did, my life had turned into this. She swapped her luck with yours. Everything that's happened to you was supposed to happen to her. The psychic said softly, looking at me. Now your luck has been swapped back. From now on, she's the one who's going to have all the bad luck. Child, you should probably hide for a while. As soon as she realizes her luck has turned bad, she'll know you're the one who switched it back, the psychic said, holding my arm. Hearing that, I understood. If Zoe found out her luck was gone, she would definitely come after me. What would I do if she tried to hurt me again? Thinking of this, I thanked the psychic for her help. When I got back, I packed everything that night and left the village. That same evening, I was at the airport, getting on a flight overseas. I thought that even with our luck switched back, it would take some time for her bad luck to kick in. But I was wrong. I had just gotten off the plane when I got a call from Zoe. Chloe, where are you? I went to your house. Why weren't you there? Zoe sounded extremely frantic on the phone. Zoe, I went on a trip, I said with a smile. I knew she was looking for me so desperately, because something had gone wrong on her end. She must be in a total panic right now. Chloe, your eye isn't even healed yet. You need to come back, Zoe said urgently. I could even hear the panic in her voice. Zoe, so much has happened lately. I just wanted to get away and clear my head. Don't worry about me, I replied. Chloe, the bracelet I gave you, are you wearing it? Zoe asked nervously. Of course I am. Don't worry, it was a gift from you. I'm definitely wearing it, I replied with a cold smile. From Zoe's attitude, I knew she was already in trouble and her string of bad luck had begun. Zoe sounded desperate, asking if the bracelet was damaged. I told her everything was fine. Zoe, I've got to go. Talk to you later. After hanging up, I went on with my vacation. I hadn't gone anywhere or done anything fun since my husband's accident. Before, no matter what I did, I felt a heavy weight on my heart and couldn't find interest in anything. But after the psychic burned the bracelets, my mood had lifted considerably. Now I actually felt like enjoying myself. After a few days of sightseeing, I felt much better. Then one day, I got a call from the hospital. They told me there was a good chance for a cornea transplant, and that I should return and wait for more news. I was ecstatic when I got that call. Ever since losing sight in one eye, I had felt so insecure. Now there was finally some hope. I told the doctor I would be back as soon as possible for the transplant. Afterward, I was buzzing with excitement as I prepared to go back. But just as I finished packing, I got another call from Zoe. Chloe, where are you? Zoe sounded extremely agitated as she asked. I'm still out of town. What's up, Zoe? I asked, pretending to be curious. I knew Zoe must have run into trouble during this time, otherwise she wouldn't be calling. Zoe was silent for a long time on the other end. Then she suddenly asked, Chloe, are you really wearing the bracelet I gave you? I am, I said directly. Chloe, send me a picture of it, Zoe said urgently. Zoe, the bracelet is really on my wrist. I don't need to send a picture, I'm about to board a plane. After saying that, I just hung up. I knew Zoe was truly desperate now. She had probably already figured out something was wrong. But even so, that had nothing to do with me. I called a friend I trusted and asked how Zoe had been doing lately. Chloe, you haven't heard? Zoe's been running into all sorts of trouble for some reason. Someone else got the project she was working on, so her promotion is off the table. And I heard her team's performance is the worst in the company. You know they have a last one out policy. Rumor is she's about to get fired. And Chloe, let me tell you, there's something wrong with that rich boyfriend of hers. I found out a while ago that her so-called rich boyfriend has been borrowing money all over town. I heard Zoe even lent him a ton of money to invest in him. If his company goes bankrupt, Zoe will go down with him. Hearing what my friend said, I smiled. Zoe's luck had definitely taken a nosedive. I was thrilled. Zoe's misfortune meant my good luck was coming back. After chatting with my friend for a bit, I hung up and immediately got on a flight home. As soon as my plane landed, Zoe's call came through again. Chloe, do you know something? Zoe's voice was urgent, almost angry. Hearing her, I just laughed and asked Zoe, what would I know? Zoe was silent on the other end for a long time. Then she said, Chloe, where are you? I'll come find you. I smiled. I knew Zoe was desperate to find me. She had realized I must know the secret of the bracelet. That's why she was so frantic now. No need, Zoe. I'm out having a great time. You don't need to come find me. I told her over the phone. Hearing me say that, Zoe grew even more desperate. Chloe, I really need to see you. Tell me where you are. I'll come find you. No thanks, Zoe. I'm having a lot of fun on my own. I said coldly. My coldness made Zoe go silent. Then she asked urgently, Chloe, did you really find something out? Her voice had turned cold as she questioned me. Zoe, what am I supposed to know? I shot back. Hearing my response, Zoe was quiet for a long time before finally saying nothing. Chloe, what about the bracelet I gave you? She was still persistent. I knew she had probably figured it out. After all, ever since she stole my luck, her life had been amazing. Now that her fortune had taken a sharp downturn, she naturally knew it had something to do with me. Zoe, I'm sorry. I accidentally lost the bracelet you gave me, I said coolly into the phone. When she heard that, Zoe was silent for a moment, then said, Chloe, how about I give you another one? No thanks, Zoe. You've already given me 2 bracelets. I can't accept any more, I said. Suddenly, Zoe's voice on the other end turned furious. Chloe, I gave that to you. How could you just lose it? I laughed. I knew Zoe was at her wit's end. But what did that have to do with me? Sorry, Zoe. I accidentally lost what you gave me. How about this? I'll Venmo you some money so you won't be mad, I said softly to her. Hearing my words, Zoe panicked. Chloe, that was a heartfelt gift from me. How could you just throw it away? I said I'd give you another one. Why won't you accept it? Listening to Zoe's irrational tantrum, I just smiled. Zoe, I don't think that bracelet suits me, so I don't want it. As for the 2 bracelets, I'll just Venmo you $100. After saying that, I hung up without caring what else Zoe had to say. Then, I sent Zoe a $100 payment. Just as Zoe tried to contact me again, I blocked her number. Then I hurried to the hospital. The doctor told me my cornea had arrived and I could have the surgery that same day. I gladly accepted. After the surgery, I was placed in a recovery room. During that time, Zoe called me every single day. I knew she was getting desperate. One day, I was at the hospital getting my stitches removed. As I looked at my eye, fully healed, tears started streaming down my face. Just then, I saw a familiar figure in the hospital corridor. It was the psychic. Ma'am, what are you doing here? I asked, surprised to see her. I came to warn you. That Zoe girl has been going to your house for several days now. She's looking for you. The psychic looked at me and said softly, Zoe has even been asking around the village where your parents' graves are. What? Hearing that, I was stunned. Ma'am, what is she trying to do? I asked her urgently. The psychic patted my hand. Child, don't you worry, I'm here. She definitely wants to steal your luck again. She's trying to find your parents' graves so she can take their ashes and use them against you. I was shocked to hear this. I had no idea such a method even existed. Then, ma'am, what should I do? Child, I've already moved your parents' ashes to the village shrine. Don't you worry, their ashes are with me, they're safe. The psychic looked at me and said softly, and I put the ashes of that vicious old dog from the village in their place. If she tries to use them against you, she'll only end up making things worse for herself. Hearing her words, I looked at the psychic gratefully. Ma'am, thank you so much. The psychic patted my hand. Your parents were very good to me when they were alive. Of course I'm going to help you. She looked at me closely. Child, you have a good fate. Soon, you will meet someone who will love and care for you. From now on, live a good life. Once you're settled, you can come back and get your parents' ashes. After giving me a few more words of advice, she left. Not long after the psychic left, I got a call from the cemetery. Miss Chun, your parents' grave was robbed last night. Even the ashes are gone. The cemetery staff on the other end of the line sounded extremely nervous. After all, this was a very serious matter. They offered to compensate me for my loss and hoped I would let the matter rest. I agreed and received a payment of $10,000. Besides, what Zoe had taken were the ashes of that rabid old dog from the village. I remembered that dog. It used to hang around the village entrance, but then something changed, and it started attacking people on sight. The villagers eventually had to put it down. The psychic felt sorry for it, so she took it back, cremated it, and put the ashes in a jar. And now Zoe had taken them. I wondered what Zoe planned to do with the ashes after taking them back. I called a friend to ask what Zoe had been up to lately. Chloe, you don't know? Zoe went back to her hometown recently. I heard she's planning on moving a grave. My friend said over the phone. She even said that after she moves the grave, her luck will change for the better. Hearing my friend's words, I just smiled. Okay, I get it now. I stopped paying attention to Zoe's affairs. Once my eye healed, I was discharged from the hospital and went back to my own home. My husband and I had bought this house together. Back then, we were full of dreams for the future. He told me he would love me for the rest of his life. At the time, I was filled with anticipation for a happy married life with him, but I never imagined this would be the outcome. Ever since my husband's accident, I couldn't bear to live in this house, which is why I moved back to the countryside. Now I was finally starting a new life. I thought that even if Zoe moved the grave, her bad luck wouldn't hit so quickly. But 2 days later, my friend called me. Chloe, did you hear? Zoe was in a car accident. They say her face is ruined. My friend said urgently, and that boyfriend of hers wasn't a rich kid at all. He was a total mooch who scammed a ton of money from Zoe. He even got her into deep trouble with loan sharks. Now that Zoe's face is ruined, the guy just took off. Listening to my friend's voice on the phone, I just smiled. Is that so? Chloe, you and Zoe were so close. I have to warn you. Back in school, I told you she was no good. Ever since your accident, Zoe has been telling everyone you're a jinx, and that we should all stay away from you. My friend said, Chloe, please don't let Zoe fool you. Besides, she's at the end of her rope now. Her project at work fell through, the company is firing her, and she owes all that money. She's definitely going to come to you for help. I thanked my friend and hung up. I was grinning from ear to ear. I was happy that Zoe was finally getting what she deserved. Sure enough, a couple of days later, Zoe called me. Chloe, I was in a car crash. You're my friend, you'll help me, right? Zoe was sobbing hysterically on the other end. Chloe, my boyfriend was a con artist. He scammed me out of so much money, and now I can't pay it back. Listening to her crying, I just chuckled. Zoe, what does that have to do with me? Chloe, aren't I your best friend? How can you treat me like this? Zoe's voice was frantic, desperate. Chloe, you'll help me, right? You have to. I really did think of you as my best friend once. I sighed. But Zoe, you're the one who set me up. You even stole from my parents' grave, didn't you? I laughed. You thought moving the grave would make your luck better? Chloe, you really do know everything? Zoe's voice turned into a shriek. Chloe, what else do you know? Those weren't your parents' ashes, were they? Chloe, you tricked me? Zoe was screaming hysterically now. Chloe, how could you be so cruel? I'm your best friend. How could you set me up like that? Hearing her, I just scoffed. Zoe, weren't you the one who set me up? My husband is dead because of you. I said coldly. Now you're the one with the bad luck, not me. Zoe's voice suddenly softened. Chloe, I know I was wrong. I was just so jealous of your life. I only wanted to borrow a little bit of your luck. I never thought it would get this serious. Chloe, I really know I was wrong. You're the only one who can help me now. We've been best friends for so many years. Chloe, you'll help me, right? Hearing her voice, I just laughed coldly. Zoe, you and I are done. After I hung up, I immediately blocked her number. She was in a world of trouble now, and I certainly wasn't going to get involved. A few days later, my friend called me again. Chloe, Zoe is dead. My friend told me that Zoe couldn't pay her hospital bills and was eventually kicked out without treatment. She went to find her ex-boyfriend, but he just mocked her and even beat her up. In a fit of rage, Zoe dragged the man with her as she jumped from the top of a building. In the end, they both died horribly. Hearing this news, I felt nothing. Zoe had finally paid the price for everything she had done. And as for me, my life would only get better from now on. The end.